Hey, Lisa, you can turn the heat down a little bit if you want to. Would you turn the light down just a little bit too, please? Yeah. Since I got this cataract in my eye, any light glares in it like headlights coming at nighttime. Thank you. Well, it's been over a month at least since I've been up here. Give everybody a little bit of a break. Uh, I don't remember if I had the message the last time I was here, but I went kind of face down over here. And come to find out, I'd had a slight heart attack. And I recuperated from it very well. I never even knew that's what happened or anything. But I would say if you've never had a heart attack, I wouldn't recommend it. But I would say that there's nothing I would rather be doing or be caught doing than praising my master when I go out of this place. So I was perfectly comfortable had things went the other way because what else could I do? He says, what is that blessed servant that when I return, I find him doing it? And that's something for all of us in our daily walk, in our daily lives, whether we're here, out in the streets, in a restaurant, wherever. We are to be a light. About 3 years ago or so, when they unleashed that COVID thing on us, everything come to a screeching halt. Not just here, but the whole world over. Ships blocked up in San Diego and Los Angeles and all those places not being able to deliver things to people. And then that was medications, food supplies. Our shelves looked like a third world country who didn't get their shipment. Shelves were empty in Walmart. I'd never seen that before. Walmart always was making money. Some of them were open 24/7. And the owner of Walmart is called Mammon. And if you don't know what Mammon is, it is a spirit of wealth, greed, and all that that entails. I'm going to be reading today because I don't think they're through with us yet, and there's some things I'd like to point out. If you'll turn to Matthew 24, please. There's 5 pair of glasses up here, and 2 of them were mine, and none of them work. No, these that Dina left, which probably make me look sophisticated. They'll work. Matthew 24:1. And going out, Yahshua went away from the set apart place. And his taught ones came near to point out to him the buildings of the set apart place. And Yahshua said to them, do you not see all these things? Truly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another at all, which shall not be thrown down. On that picture back there is a picture of the Wailam on that wall back there. And those stones have never been thrown down. So they must not have been a part of the temple that he was talking about. And there's a dispute about that. I won't go into that. And as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the taught ones came to him separately, saying, say to us, when shall this be? And what shall be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? So these questions he's asked, what is the sign of your coming and the end of the age? I never considered what the end of the age was until I realized that we were fixing to go in to a different age from where we were before. When Yahshua was here for about that 2,000 years, it was Pisces, if I understand that correctly. I'm not big into astronomy or astrology, But however, now we're going into the age of Aquarius. So one age has ended, and it does that about every 2,000 years. So one age had ended, and another one was beginning. There's this age of Aquarius. I bet there's some of us old enough to remember the song by the Fifth Dimension. And what a name, Fifth Dimension. So I won't go into that right now, but it's really odd that there are several dimensions. And, like you can see things in 3D, for instance, if you go put on these glasses and go see a movie, you can see in 3D. But the end of the age kind of struck me because I didn't realize the change at the end of the age. Just look at what has happened since the year 2000. We were discussing some of this morning about children being brought up to not understand even what sex they are, male or female. And the parents aren't allowed to tell them. This is what this age of Aquarius is about. It's supposed to be about love and understanding and all that. Either you love us or we'll kill you, is the way I take it. Because I don't agree with this New Age movement at all. There's nothing in it. When I grew up, I'm not going to say my age, but I'm pretty old. But when I grew up, we could play outside till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And the parents didn't wonder what was going on. Were we okay? Because there wasn't as much crime, hatred. The hatred in this country is just almost undescribable. Everybody against everybody. Democrats, Republicans, Protestants, Catholics, us. And we're kind of like in the middle, but on the end of everything, because when they're done fighting everybody else, just like Islam, the Shiites and the Sunnis, when they're done fighting each other, or fighting us and everybody around them, then they're going to fight each other. You can look this up, it's not hidden anywhere. But Matthew 24 is a layout of all the things that are going to come upon this nation and upon this world. So it'll be points I'll be stopping and pointing out to us. But I would ask you all have computers, I'm guessing, or phones that you can get on and pull up stuff. Check it out. I'm too afraid. And you shall begin to hear of fightings and hear of fightings and reports of fighting, or rumors and wars and wars. See that you are not troubled, for these things have to take place, but the end is not yet. So let me stop there. Can you turn on the news without a war? Anywhere. There's nowhere to go. And every war right now is picking up the speed of it. Like this deal in Ukraine. It started off with a few bangs here and there, but now it's every day for almost 2 years. In Jerusalem, we all know what happened there. And they turned this thing around to say, it's the Jews that caused this, and it is the Jews who are to blame for everything that is going on. My question is, who struck first? And was it just a mild slap on the wrist? Or were they out for blood? People forget, because the news media, which has turned, is no longer on the side of truth. Everything that you hear and read on the news, be suspect. And you can't go on the internet to find the truth because they don't know it either. The only place you're going to find the truth is in the book, period. It's the only thing that doesn't lie to us or make excuses. Right is right, wrong is wrong. But the wars are rampant. I have to put this right here. You shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for these things must take place, but the end isn't yet. For nation shall rise against nation, reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food, and deadly diseases, and earthquakes in diverse places. Diseases. Do I need to even say anything about this? RSV. The measles are back. I mean, they're just unloading everything they can. Things that we had wiped out are now coming back. And I don't care that people want to come here and make a living. That's fine. But if you're letting so many people in, you can't take care of those people, and you can't keep track of who's bringing what in. There's no health screening, no nothing. So it's just like opening your doors and just anybody and everybody come in.
Pay them to do it.
And pay it, yes. And it's getting to the point to where the people who are here and live here don't have enough for them. And I'm not against them coming here, but I just think they ought to be checked out. Their health ought to be checked out. Their backgrounds ought to be checked out. If they pull you over, they're going to check your background. All of these are the beginning of birth pains. And myself, never having given birth, I can ask the women around, and I think they will say that once the birth pain starts, they don't let up until the baby is delivered. And so this thing that we're going through is not going to get easier. And eventually, it's going to come down to join us or pay the price. I'm not into politics. I've never voted in my life. The only one I campaign for is Joshua Messiah. He's the only one. The rest of them are all liars, thieves. The word politics, it was pointed out to me, that means poly, being many, ticks being bloodsuckers. So there you have it. Then they shall deliver you up to affliction and kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. That's what this whole thing is about. When this anti-Messiah person takes his seat in Jerusalem, it's going to be his name or Joshua's name. And we will have to make a choice. I made mine 40-some years ago. I read this book then, and I thought we were close then. But as I look back, we weren't even on the threshold. Now the door is open. We're inside, and all these things that are in this particular book are happening to us. And then many shall stumble. They shall deliver up one another. They shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And they didn't even have the internet. You want to know what the truth is? Look on the internet, right? If there's 500 suggestions on there, that's 500 opinions. And most of them are not even going to agree. Heck, the children of Yahweh, most congregations of Yahweh, we all have disagreements. I don't hate them, and I don't wish anybody ill over it. Because if the Spirit calls you, you do what the Spirit tells you to do. You forsake everything for the Spirit, but make sure it's the Spirit of righteousness leading you. You test those fruits and make sure of that. And because of the increase of lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold. What, lawlessness in America? Are you kidding me? And some even have it worse in this country. But he who have endured to the end, the same shall be saved. That means at the end of your race, whether he comes and takes you, whether you lie down and go to sleep, whatever, that's the end for you, that's the end. But if you endure this and he is your master, then you know what reward waits you. And it's the kingdom of Elohim and eternal life to spend with them forever and ever and ever. And when you lay down, if you do die, you better rest well. That's the last nap you'll get. Unless you go to the lake of fire. But I don't think anybody here is going to do that. But all our loved ones who have gone before us, they all rest. And the last one we've lost lately is my wife's father. A good old boy, a good Baptist at heart. And at the end, he was beginning to see the Sabbath day. He was beginning to see the food laws. He was beginning to see the festival days. But not from us, from the TV of the Messianic Jews. But that was good enough because it crossed over. See? Sometimes there has to be a bridge for people to see that there's a connection somehow. And the good news of the reign shall be proclaimed in all the world as a witness to all nations. Then the end shall come. I hear preachers saying, we have sent Bibles to China. We have sent them to Russia. Therefore, the gospel has been preached in all the world. That's not true. It says it in Revelation if somebody wants to pull it up. When that happens. Lisa, you want to pull that up? Okay. And it's in Revelation, so it hasn't happened quite yet. So when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet set up in the set apart place. He who reads, let him understand. You know what that was when Daniel was speaking of it even back then? It was going to be the anti-Messiah. He looked forward and he's seen it. This will be the anti-Messiah who will set up his reign, and he will reign for 3.5 years. If you want to look that up, Revelation 13 is a good place to start. He who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take whatever out of his house. And let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. Woe to those that are pregnant and those who are nursing children those days. And pray that your flight not take place in the winter or on Shabbat. Well, at the end of the days, the Shabbat is still there. So that does away with those who preach that the law, the commandments are done away. For there shall be great distress, such as never been since the beginning of the world unto this time, nor ever shall be again. And if those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the sake of the chosen ones, those days shall be shortened. Never fear. You're called or you're chosen because you're keeping the Sabbath day. One or the other, or both. Abraham, called and chosen. Isaac, Ishmael, all called and chosen. The apostles, called and chosen. Stephen, the closest I've come to finding a man who reacted the way the Messiah acted when they was killing him, said the same thing. Don't lay this on them. They don't have a clue what they're doing. How many of you or me think I could be that kind? I would probably have some things I'd like to say to them before that one rock takes me out, because that was my nature before. I hope now I would be different. And I hope that you all would be different too. But we won't know until that comes upon us. If anyone says to you, look, here's the Messiah, or there, do not believe. For the Messiah, for false messiahs and false prophets shall rise, and they shall show great signs and wonders as to lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. Did you find that place, Lisa? Where's it at in Revelation? 14:6. If you want to write that down, you'll have it. And it says, just read a quick clip there, Lisa, would you please?
And I saw another messenger flying in heaven, holding the everlasting good news to announce to those dwelling on the earth, even to every nation, people, saying how the Spirit will be worship Him.
Okay. That's when it's done. See, I have forewarned you. So if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, don't go out. Or look, he's in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For wherever the dead body is, there are the vultures, or some may read eagles. Then they shall be gathered together. And immediately after the distress of those days, the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give its light, the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And you can find that in Joel 2, 10, 31, 35, about the sun and the moon. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then the signs of the son of Adam, shall appear in the heaven, and all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. And they shall see the Son of Adam coming on the clouds of the heaven with power and much esteem. And he shall send his messengers with great sound of a trumpet. And they shall gather together the chosen ones from the four winds, from one end of the earth and the heavens to the other. And learn this parable from the fig tree. When the branch has already become tender and put forth its leaves, you know that summer is near or nigh. So you also, when you see all these, know that he is near, even at the door. So like think about this. If someone was in the room outside there and we see him walk in Yahweh's time from the door to in here, we think about what time is that? It's upon us. All the signs are here, and it even becomes more evident. Truly I say to you, this generation, the one that's seen all the stuff we just read, I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away until all this takes place. So what have we not seen? It's all here. The heavens and the earth shall pass away, but my words shall by no means pass away. But concerning the day and the hour, no one knows, not even the messengers of heaven, but Abba only. See, he's in control of everything, everything. He declares the beginning and the end. Nobody else. And so we're in good hands. Not like Allstate, we really are in good hands. As in the days of Noah, so shall be the second coming of the Son of Adam be. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. The same way it'll be now. People just living their lives, going about daily business every day, not thinking that this is that close, because they don't even pick up the book to read it. And they did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So shall it be the coming of the Son of Adam be. Then two shall be in the field, the one is taken and the one is left. And by the way, it doesn't say where they're taken. The tares burn up first. Consider. Two women grinding at the mill, one is taken, one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your master is coming. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Because of this, be ready too, for the Son of Adam is coming in an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is a trustworthy and wise servant, whom his master set over his household to give him food in good season? Be blessed is that servant when his master, having come, shall find him so doing. And that's what I was saying a while ago. There's nothing I would rather be doing than worshiping my master, praying, anything, as long as it's connected to him and I'm serving him. Love me with all your heart, all your might, all your being. It doesn't say me and somebody else. You love me with all your heart, your might. Then the order goes down. But him first. Blessed be that servant when the master has come, so shall find him doing. Truly I say to you, that he shall set him over all his possessions. But if that evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunkards, the master of that servant shall come in a day when he does not expect it, and at an hour when he does not know, and appoint his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Well, I think there was this guy called, he was a great big writer for plays. To be or not to be was his quote. So, we be here now, but we want to be hereafter. So, you do what he says. As I was talking to a man on the phone the other night, he says, I tell you, I'm willing to give up everything I think I know. Get at the truth. In the 2 Thessalonians, that's a command. You have to love the truth, or you'll just swallow anything. There's a lot of people who seem really intelligent, and they like to baffle you with their mighty brain power and all that. And if you listen to them long enough, not all, but if you listen to a lot of them guys long enough, they usually take a left turn at Albuquerque. I've been to Albuquerque. And there's not much there. Anybody here ever been to Albuquerque? Me? I'm the only one. Then nobody can. You been there, Mike? Okay. Well, there's one that could debate me on it. But you know, we have this life. It's a wonderful life. We exist. And that's what we cling to. That's why people don't want to die. We exist and we know that we're existing. But nobody's ever come back to tell us what's on the other side except one. I always say, nobody ever got out of here alive. Lisa said, yeah, one did. And I said, yes, but he had to die first. I don't like losing arguments to her. But my prayer is for everyone in this building, all the brethren that we have all over this world. Do you know what the connecting sign, the umbilical cord, if you will, between us and Yahweh is? One thing. Sabbath day, yeah. Sabbath day. And if you want to look on this, you can turn to Exodus 31:12. I'm not there, but if you want to write it down, my clock, I don't know how much time I've had or what I've done. I've got one just like that at home. It don't work either. Did it? Well, we'll fix that. But I would just ask you, especially you young people, there's a lot more coming. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, maybe a little. But the thing is at the end of all of this, the picture on the other side of this, go to Revelation 20 and read that, and you'll see what's on the other side. Revelation 22, let me turn down. I thought I was done. And a lot of times I do end with this, and this will be one of those days. The last chapter in Revelation 22. I'll just take it from 22:1. What time is it? Anybody got a timepiece? Oh, really? I got time for another sermon. Or either that or we can eat. What do you think? And he showed me a river of water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of Elohim and from the Lamb. And in the middle of the street, on either side of the river, was the tree of life, not been since the Garden of Eden, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And no longer shall there be any more curse. Think about the earth being cursed, how it yearns for Yahweh to return. The curse could be lifted off of it. I mean, look, they're killing the earth. They rape it, take everything out of the oceans, all the corals dying. And that's an ugly picture, but this is a better one. And no longer shall there be any curse, and the throne of Elohim of the Lamb shall be in it. And his servants shall serve him, not the government. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. And night shall be no more, and they shall have no need of the of the lamp or of the light of the sun, because Yahweh Elohim shall give them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. See, there's no end to it. And he said to me, these words are trustworthy and true. And Yahweh Elohim of the set-apart prophets has sent his messenger to show his servants what has to take place with speed. See, I am coming speedily. Blessed is he who guards the words of the prophecy of this book. And I, Yohanan, saw and heard these matters. And when I heard and I saw, I fell down to worship before the feet of the messenger who showed me these matters. And he said to me, see, do it not. For I am a fellow servant and of your brothers, the prophets, and those who are guarding the words of this book. Worship Elohim. And he said to me, Do not seal up the words of the book of this prophecy, as he said in Daniel, because the time is near. He who does wrong, let him do more wrong. He who is filthy, let him be more filthy. He who is righteous, let him be more righteous. He who is set apart, let him be more set apart. And see, I am coming speedily, and my reward is with me to give to each as according to his work. Where am I at? Okay. But outside are the dogs and those who enchant with drugs. Was that right? Where's that? 13, you said? Oh, I thought they said 15. Okay. All right, I'll back up. I am the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are those doing his commandments, so that they are worthy, and then they shall be heirs unto the tree of life. It always puzzled me how I could go to the Protestant churches and they teach that the commandments were nailed and done away. I never could understand that. And I thought as a young man, I can do whatever I want then. No, I'm not guilty. And they're heirs to the tree of life and can enter into the gates of the city. But outside are the dogs and those who enchant with drugs and those who whore and the murderers and the idolaters and all those who love and do falsehood. I, Yeshua, have sent my messenger to witness to you these matters in the assemblies, and I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. The Spirit and the bride say, come. And he who hears, let him say, come. And he who thirsts, come. And he who desires, take of the water of life without paying. For I witness to everyone hearing the words of the prophecy of this book. If anyone adds to them, Elohim shall add to him the plagues that are written in this book. And if anyone takes away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Elohim shall take away his part out of the book of life. Not once saved, always saved. That can cause you your salvation. Taken out of the book of life and out of the set apart city, which are written in this book. He who bears witness to these matters says, yes, I am coming speedily. Amen. Yes, come, Master Yeshua. The favor of the Master Yeshua, Messiah, be upon all of the set apart ones. Can't add to it. Nothing left. All I know is it has given me a piece of life, peace in life, I never knew existed before. The surety of I know what happens when I do lay down. And I know what happened to my parents when they went to sleep. So I have no fear of death. Maybe the way it comes, maybe. But if it's quick, I would prefer that, of course. But there, like I read, and there's so many diseases. How many cancer prayers do we hold up? You know, Alzheimer's, from just every kind of disease you can think of is about on us. But I would say to you, keep a strong heart. Don't be bent and broken. Because the one who saved us was bent, but he was never broken. The last thing he done was talk to his Father. I hope I have that much time. Because that's the next face I expect to see after I see Yeshua Messiah. So, with that, if there's any comments, questions, anything I said, I'll be glad to try to answer those or defend, whichever happens. No? Then I see no further need to wait. I will ask the blessing on the food. And then we can just go from here to there. All right? If you bow your heads with me, please. Abba Yahweh, our Elohim. We are so thankful that you're our Elohim and that you control the destinies of all things and most of all our lives. That at some point when this race is run, that we with the called out apostles and those elders of old and the prophets of old, even to our forefather Adam, that we would see him and how everyone who ever supported your ways, that we could come face to face with them but most of all, face to face with our Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach. I ask, Father, for blessing upon everyone that is here, everyone that is keeping this Sabbath day and honoring you. I would ask at this time you bless our food for us. I thank you for it. And I would ask also for protection for all of those who will be traveling this day, that they would return to their place of safety and be safe there. So thank you, Abba, for everything you do, especially for Yeshua, our Messiah. In his name, I give you praise and thanks. Hallelujah. Thank you.